Hello everyone, myself Assistant Professor Vatsal D. Patel from Civil Engineering Department working at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center Navsari. Today we are going to discuss about modern surveying instruments. So be ready with your pen and paper. So let's start with the introduction first. So in surveying, the distance is usually measured directly with a tape or a chain. This method is known as direct distance measurement, or it is denoted by capital DDM. So the direct distance measurement method is quite convenient in most of the cases and fairly good accuracy can be achieved. The method of direct distance measurement is unsuitable in difficult terrain and sometimes impossible when obstructions occur. For direct measurement of the baseline in triangulation, special methods have to be used to achieve the required accuracy. These methods are very expensive and time consuming. The problem was overcome after the development of optical distance measuring methods. So let's see the second method. So the distance can be measured indirectly using optical distance measuring instruments called tachometers. This method is known as optical distance measurement, or it is denoted by capital ODM. However, these tachometers are not suitable where high accuracy is required. The accuracy obtained is 1 in 1000 and 1 in 10,000. But in ODM methods also, the range is limited to 100 to 150 meter. So tachometers generally are used for short sights. So then significant developments in the last 3 decades resulting in a variety of sophisticated instruments have revolutionized the variety of techniques of conventional surveying and mapping. Such innovations are still continuing, leaving behind the conventional instruments and methods and making them outdated. Some modern equipments are auto-level, micro-optic theodolites and electronic or digital theodolites. Digital equipment have become very popular because of simplicity of operation, ease and speed of working. So if we talk about EDM, means electronic distance measurement. So electronic distance measuring instruments or electromagnetic distance measuring instruments have been recently developed which give a very high accuracy in distance measurement. The invention and practical application of the technique of electromagnetic distance measurement, which is denoted by capital EDM, have made it possible to measure directly to an acceptable accuracy the distance between any two intervisible points in a surveying method. Electromagnetic distance measurement enables the accuracies up to 1 in 10 raised to 5 without much difficulty for sites up to 100 km. In field survey, use of EDM instrument is now widespread that it will be difficult to imagine any contemporary site surveying without it. So in this chapter we will discuss electromagnetic distance measuring, say EDM equipments and total station. They greatly facilitate surveying operations. So let's understand electromagnetic waves first. In EDM instruments, the electromagnetic waves are generated and transmitted. The type of electromagnetic waves generated depends on many factors but principally on the nature of the electrical signal used to generate the waves. The electromagnetic waves require no medium and they can travel even in vacuum. The distance is measured indirectly using the characteristics of these waves. Thus, the EDM method is based on generation, propagation, reflection, and subsequent reception of electromagnetic waves. So let us understand properties of electromagnetic waves. So electromagnetic waves are quite complex in nature. However, in the simplest form, this can be represented as periodic sinusoidal waves as shown in figure. So you can see periodic sinusoidal waves here in the image. So they have the following properties, like the wave completes a cycle in moving from identical points A to E. Okay, which point? From point A to E, or B to F, or C to G, or D to H. So the number of cycles completed by the wave in 1 second is called frequency, and it is denoted by F of the wave. The unit of frequency is hertz, and it is denoted by capital H and small z, which you mainly know, okay, which is equal to 1 cycle per second. Thus, if the frequency f is equal to 10 raised to 5 hertz, it means that the wave completes 10 raised to 5 cycles per second. Next, the length traversed in x direction by the waves when it completes one cycle is termed as wavelength. Therefore, it is equal to the distance which separates two identical points such as A and E or B and F on the wave. It is denoted by lambda and its unit will be meters. Next is the time taken by the wave to travel through one cycle. A distance equal to one wavelength is termed as period. It is represented by capital T and its units will be seconds. And lastly, the velocity, say small v, of the wave is the distance travelled by in one direction. So let's see phase of the wave. So another property of the wave known as phase of the wave and denoted by the symbol phi is often quoted in degrees. It varies from 0 degree to 360 degree for one cycle and then repeats from 0 degree to 360 degree for subsequent cycles. It is a very convenient method of identifying fraction of a wavelength or cycle in EMD. So you can see table, various point A, B, C, etc. has the following phase value, which we have already seen the figure, okay, and figure is also here. So for points like A, B, C, etc., the following phase value will be there. For point A, phase value phi degree will be 0. For B, it will be 90. For C, it will be 180. For D, it will be 270. For E, it will be 360 or 0. For F, it will be 90. For G, it will be 180. For H, it will be 270. And for I, it will be 360 or 0. So this is the phase of wave. Now let us understand a very important theory, which is electromagnetic spectrum. It is very important for your examination, so be sure you remember this. So the electromagnetic spectrum is shown in figure. So electromagnetic waves are energy carrying waves. They carry composite energy due to electrical and magnetic fields. Electromagnetic spectrum is the name given to a cluster of radiations that carry energy. You can see all of that in the image, okay? So the type of electromagnetic wave is known by its wavelength or its frequency. However, all these travel with a velocity approximately equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. This velocity forms the basis of all electromagnetic measurements. These include Y rays, X rays, ultraviolet rays, visible light, infrared rays, microwaves, and radio waves. So you can see all the waves in the image, okay? Thus, at one end of the spectrum are the gamma rays and X rays, say high frequency and small wavelength. And at the other end are radio waves, or we can say low frequency and large wavelength. So, three types of waves like microwaves, infrared waves, and visible light waves commonly used in EDM instruments. Visible light is a very small component of this spectrum, with each color of the band having a different frequency. So you can see visible light here in the image at the bottom, okay, the rainbow colors. So here I have already mentioned, which we have talked about the electromagnetic spectrum, okay, so you can write down this. Next is electromagnetic distance measurement. Electromagnetic distance measurement has become very popular in recent times. The method electronic distance measurement, say EDM, have made it possible to measure directly to an acceptable accuracy the distance between any two intervisible points in a survey system. The instruments have become very compact and their electronic components have become inexpensive. The technique of EDM eliminates the need for chaining or tapping. This can be a great advantage under certain circumstances. The accuracy has improved over the years and the instruments have become easy to handle and operate. So let us understand the principle of EDM. So EDM is a general term embracing the measurement of distance using electronic methods. In electromagnetic distance measurement method, distances are measured with instruments that rely on propagation, reflection, and subsequent repetition of either radio, visible, or infrared waves. The basic principle is the indirect determination of the time required for a light beam to travel between two stations. EDM is based upon the measurement of phase difference between the transmitted and received signal. So you can see its image. So next is types of EDM instruments. So depending upon the types of carrier wave employed, EDM instruments can be classified under following three heads. First one is microwave instrument, second one is visible light instruments, and the third one is infrared instruments. So let us understand each and every one of this in detail. So first is microwave instruments. Microwave EDM instruments were first developed in South Africa in late 1950s. These instruments have come under the category of long range instruments. The carrier wave frequencies used in microwave instruments or EDM instruments are in the range of 3 to 30 gigahertz, or we can say 1 gigahertz is equal to 10 raised to 9. So these waves can be transmitted over long distances up to 100 kilometers. The carrier waves are frequency modulated. Telemeters comes under this category. The tellulometer was the first instrument which used microwaves in the measurement of distances for surveying purpose. In these type of instruments, an active instrument and an operator are needed at either end of the line. 1 minute. In this type of instrument, an active instrument and an operator are needed at the either end of the line. The signal is retransmitted on another carrier wave back to the originating instrument. Instruments using microwaves are generally used for long distances required in primary triangulation and precise traversing. Typical maximum ranges for microwave instruments are from 30 to 80 km with an accuracy of plus or minus 15 mm to plus or minus 5 mm per kilometer. These instruments are used mainly for establishing horizontal control points for very large projects. Next is visible light instruments. The electro-optical EDM instruments use visible light waves as carrier waves. A geodemeter comes under this category of EDM instruments. This is a medium range equipment with a range of up to 25 km. The range is about 5 km during the day and can go up to 25 km at night. Medium range equipment have an accuracy of plus or minus 5 mm to 1 mm per kilometer. The first generation of this instrument was developed in Sweden in early 1950s by Dr. Erik Bergstrand. The carrier wave frequency used in the visible light instrument is of the order of 5 into 10 raised to 14 Hz. The light wave is amplitude modulated. Since the transmitting power of carrier wave of such high frequency falls off rapidly with the distance, the range of such EDM instruments is lesser than those of microwave instruments. Next is infrared instruments. The instruments in which a beam of light is used as the carrier and which gets back reflected from a kind of mirror, or we can say prism, located at the another end. Such instruments are less expensive because one active instrument and one battery only are needed at one end, and the instrument at the other end is simply a reflecting mirror centered over the ground station mark. They are suitable for measuring short distances required in surveying. When the distance between the end station is comparatively large, a telescope is used for aiming the beam at the mirror, and laser is used as carrier, as this has a very small angle of spread. In infrared EDM instruments, the near infrared radiation band of wavelength 0.9 into 10 raised to 6 meter is used as a carrier wave. The carrier wavelength in this group is close to the visible light spectrums. Hence, infrared instruments are sometimes classified in electro-optical instrument. The infrared wave is transmitted in a manner similar to a visible light system, which is easily obtained from gallium arsenide infrared emitting diode. These diodes can be easily amplitude or modulated at high frequency required for EDM instruments. Thus, modulated carrier waves is obtained by an inexpensive method, while distomates fall under this category of EDM instruments. The main disadvantage of the infrared instruments is that the power output of the diodes is low and therefore the range of such instrument is generally limited to 2 or 5 kilometer. Next is types of EDM instruments. So there are different EDM instruments like tellulometer, geodemeter and distometers. So let us understand each and every of this in detail. So first one is tellurometer. A tellurometer is an electromagnetic device to measure distance. The tellurometer was invented by Dr. T. L. Wedley of the South African National Institute for Telecommunication Research. The tellurometer was the first instrument which used microwaves in the measurement of distances for surveying purpose. In the tellurometer, high frequency microwaves or we can say radio waves are used instead of light waves. The tellurometer system consists of two identical units called the master instrument and the remote instrument. As the units are identical, each unit can be switched to operate either sorry. Each unit can be switched to operate either as a master unit or remote unit. So the two operators can speak to each other using telephone sets connected to the instruments. Radio waves are emitted by the master instrument at a frequency of 3000 MCPS from a klystron and have superimposed on them a crystal control frequency of 10 MCPS. The lower frequency waves are used for the measurement because it is difficult to make accurate measurement with short wavelength or we can say 10 centimeter of higher frequency. The high frequency wave is termed as carrier wave. The higher frequency waves can be propagated in straight line paths over long distances. Those high frequency waves are therefore said to be modulated by the low frequency pattern waves. The master transmits a series of microwaves that are picked up by the remote and are retransmitted to the master, which measures the time required. Distances are computed on the basis of the velocity of radio waves. The distance is more accurately determined this way as each instrument can act as a transmitter as well as receiver. The distance is thus measured twice an average. An unobstructed measuring path between the two instruments is necessary. However, intervisibility is not required. Hence, measurement can be made even in unfavorable weather conditions. The tellurometer is considered to be first portable electronic distance measurement instrument with a lightweight power supply of 12 watts or 24 volts. The disadvantage of the tellurometer is, however, that two similar instruments are required, each with a skilled operator at either end of the line to be measured. Next is geodemeter. Geodemeter is a first generation electro-optical instrument developed by Dr. E. Bergstrand of Sweden in 1950. The instrument uses light waves and 3 to 4 frequencies. The invention caused a revolution in distance The invention caused a revolution in distance measurement techniques. However, its use in actual practice was limited because of its large size and high power consumption. The instrument has a transmitter and receiver system. A 12-volt battery source is essential. The essential operation will be as follows. It consists of an electromagnetic optical instrumentation unit at one end of the line and an optical instrumentation unit at the other end of the line. The electromagnetic optical unit is known as the geodemeter, which transmits a highly collimated and electrically modulated light beam to the optical unit centered over the other end of the line. The optical unit consists of a reflecting element which returns the light beam to the geodemeter. The geodemeter transmits a light beam of wavelength 0.55 into 10 raised to minus 1 meter, to which a modulation of about 30 megahertz, or we can say lambda is equal to 10 meter, is applied. Visible light from a tungsten filament is used to provide the carrier wave. It is modulated by a Kerr cell and controlled by quartz crystal to provide a measuring frequency. The light beam is directed onto a reflector at the other end of the line, which is to be measured. The reflector reflects back the light beam to the instrument. Thus, polarized light is reflected towards the transmitter by the instrument at the remote station by means of a single or multiple prism. The reflected light is converted into electrical pulses by photocell. Phase comparison is made between the transmitted and reflected pulses. This is directly calibrated to read the distance on a display planar. For short distances, ordinary flat mirrors can be used to reflect the light beam after the careful orientation. Next is distomates. Distomates are latest in the series of EDM instruments. While Herberg manufactured EDM equipment under the trade name Distomate, having the following popular models like Distomate DI1000, Distomate DI5S, Distomate DI3000, Distomate DIOR3002, Distomate TC2000, or we can say electronic tachometer. The use of distomate is similar to that of a tellurimeter. Two identical instruments are used, one at each end of the line to be measured. A communication system is provided in the form of microphones and loudspeaker for contacting the remote or master unit. The master unit sends the signal to the remote unit, which receives and reflects back the signal. The instrument uses 30 mm carrier waves. The range of the instrument is 20 meter to 1,50,000 meter. The frequency used in the master unit is 10,324.3 MHz and 10,335 MHz for the remote unit. The instrument can automatically send each of the signals and calculate the phase shift in each case. The distance is then automatically displayed with the help of liquid crystal display, or we can say LCD. 8-figure full distance is shown even in the brightest sunlight. In poor light conditions and in darkness, the display is illuminated. Next is electronic digital theodolites. So, electronic digital theodolites have been recently developed, which are very precise and also very convenient to use. The design of an electronic digital theodolite is similar to that of an optical theodolite. Electronic theodolites contain circular encoders which sense the rotations of the spindles and the telescope convert these rotations into horizontal and vertical or zenith angles electronically and display them in a digital form. They display the values of the angles on liquid crystal display, or we can say LCD, or light emitting diode display, or we can say LED. The surveyor does not have to look into a circle reading telescope or set a micrometer screw to obtain a reading. At the press of a button, the angles are displayed and can be stored in a solid state memory device. The data, once collected, can be processed by a computer. So, let's see the features of let's see about now total station. So a total station is a combination of an electronic theodolites and an electronic distance meter, or we can say EDM. The various surveying operations are linear measurements, angular measurements, elevation measurement, or say reduced levels, coordinate measurement, etc. So following are here. So first one is linear measurements. We use direct or indirect methods of measuring linear measurement. Second one is angular measurements. We use prismatic compass, vernier transit theodolite, microptic theodolite, electronic digital theodolite. Next, elevation measurement, or we can say reduced levels. We use dumpy level, tilting level, auto level, digital electronic level. And the last one is coordinate measurements. So we run theodolite towers, measure lengths, angles, and then calculate consecutive and independent coordinates. So from above different survey work, we use different survey instruments. To overcome from this, solution is the total station. A total station can be used for various type of survey works. So let us see uses of total station. So it measures distance and display horizontal distance and also slope distance. It gives difference in heights or elevations. It measures angle and displays horizontal as well as vertical angle also. It measures height above datum. It measures coordinate also. Further, it can be used for special purposes. The total station is equipped with 9 types or more of special surveying programs. It depends on manufacturer who supplies inbuilt special function, making it extremely simple to carry out the various types of measurement. So let's see various purposes of it. So first one is distance takeout measurement. So by inputting the distance to be determined by the machine, the difference between that distance and the actual measure value is displayed for extremely fast distance measurements. Next is lot taking measurement. The input distances from the designs or the measured distance can be divided into n equal sections, and the separate sections are measured. Next is offset point measurement. This function enables the widths to be right and left of a center line to be measured easily by setting the instrument on the center line. Next is remote elevation measurement. Sorry. Or it can be denoted by capital REM. So a prism, or we can say base point, positioned almost directly underneath the desired location is measured. To determine the height to the target object. This makes it easy to determine the heights of objects such as power cable, bridge suspension cables, and large construction objects. Next is remote distance measurement, or it is denoted by capital RDM. This function is used to measure the horizontal distance, height differential, slope, distance, and percentage grade between 2 points. Next is coordinates measurement. This enables the coordinates of a target point to be determined using the instrument point as an origin point. Even without using the instrument point as an origin point, the coordinates of the instrument point can be input and used to determine the coordinate values of the target point. Next is resection measurement. Two known points, say A and B, can be measured to determine the instrument point coordinates. Next is traverse measurement. Based on given instrument point coordinates and backside coordinates, or on instrument point coordinates and directional angle, the coordinates of a new points can be determined. And last one is coordinate stake out. Based on given instrument point coordinates, backside coordinates, and measurement point coordinates, or on instrument point coordinates, directional angle of the backside point, and measurement point coordinates, three-dimensional coordinates takeout can be carried out. So, Total Station provides complete solution to all surveying works like land survey, road survey, rail survey, canal survey, mine survey, contour survey, survey for expressway, widening and strengthening of existing national and state highways. Sorry. So this theory is very important for your examination. So be sure you remember this theory very well. Now let's see the features of total station. So the first one is control panel. The total station is activated through its control panel. It consists of keyboard and multiple line liquid crystal display, we can say LCD. The keyboard enables the user to select and implement different measurement modes, enable instrument parameters to be changed, and allow special software function to be used. Next is angle measurement. A total station is used to measure angles. It displays the horizontal as well as the vertical angle. Next is distance measurement. Generally, a total station measures a horizontal distance and displays it on board. It displays a slope distance as well as vertical distance, or we can say the height distance between the Tunian axis and the prism center. It can measure horizontal distances up to 1 kilometer with a single prism assembly and up to 1 to 9 kilometer with a triple prism assembly. Next is onboard software. In addition, for controlling the angle and distance function of a total station, sorry. So let's talk about onboard software. So in addition, for controlling the angle and the distance function of a total station, the microprocessor is also programmed to perform some special purposes as explained earlier. Next is internal or external memories. A total station can be fitted with an internal memory capable of storing from 1000 to 16,000 points. This enables data to be collected without the need for external memory card, or we can say SD card or flash card or data recorder. Next is data recording and transferring. The devices used for data recording are data loggers, data recorders, handheld computers, memory card, etc. Same data can be transferred to the computer by using the data cable and card reader. Next is power supply. Rechargeable nickel cadmium batteries are used for power supply. The usage time is 2 to 10 hours. Next is accessories. Necessary accessories like tripod, ranging pole, prisms, extra standby battery, etc. are supplied with total station. Next is reflectorless distance measurement. So previously total station had to be used with special multiple prism as targets for EDM, but the new versions of total station can measure distance without a prism target. And lastly, the graphic display. Many new instruments have extremely powerful graphical display programs with large display panels. The data can be plotted and displayed. So these are the features of total station. Now let's see the overview on global positioning system. The main function of GPS system is to provide, or we can say display, coordinates like latitude, longitude, elevation above mean sea level and time of place occupied by GPS receiver. Hence, GPS receiver is used to locate training areas for ground truth verification in remote sensing applications. The global positioning system, which is denoted by GPS, is a worldwide radio navigation system formed for a constellation of 24 satellites and their ground station. GPS uses these man-made stars as reference point to calculate position accurately. So let us see the comparison of the segments which are needed for the global positioning system. So it mainly comprises of three elements. So the first one is satellite constellation called space segment. So the satellite constellation contains the satellite in orbit that provide the ranging signals and data messages to the user equipment. So you can say space segment here. Okay. Next is ground control, or we can say monitoring network called operational control segment. So the operational control segment, or we can say OCS, tracks and maintain the satellite in space. The OCS monitors the satellite health and signals integrity and maintains the orbit configuration of the satellite. It also updates the satellite clock corrections and ephemeris as well as other parameters essential for the determination of user position user position, velocity and time. Okay, so you can say ground control segment here. Okay, ground maintenance and control station and user segment are here. So all these are control segment. And lastly, user receiving equipment called user equipment segment. So the equipment segment performs the navigation, timing or other related function, or we can say surveying. So these are the all elements of GPS. Okay, so be sure you remember this also. So here are important questions which can be asked in your examination, and already we have covered each and every topic of this. Okay, so be sure you remember each and every theory. So here I end my session. Thank you all of you.